Good afternoon. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a good day like I'm having today where I'm at. I apologize again. I was gone. We had a little celebration in the family last week, so you missed me last week, but I'm here today. The last time we met, we discussed, I really spoke to women that had spouses join them from outside of the Western world, be it any country in Africa today. And I did say that I was going to talk to men. Today I want to talk to men, and not necessarily about when your spouse joins you in the Western world, but some of that and even beyond that. Permit me, I'm a woman, yes, but I've been married for 33 years. And one thing that I say, I've said it all along, this is my perspective. I may be wrong, but this is how I feel, that in a marriage, if the marriage doesn't work, I would look at the man. And the reason why I said that is, first, God has said that the man is the head of the household. And then second is the man that approached the woman, marry me, most of the time. Sometimes we have some women that propose to the man, but generally in life, it's assumed that it's a man's job to propose to the woman. So that is why, for me personally, I feel it's a man's responsibility. Now, let's talk about when you bring your spouse from Africa. Again, people talk about marriage fails and they're abroad. Some marriages fail, and some of the reasons why marriages fail is because, first of all, we don't sit down to discuss logistics and the intricacies of life. The life that you lived or were living in Africa is going to definitely be different from the life that you would live in the Western world. And that's one thing that spouses, couples, I mean to say, need to sit down and thoroughly discuss. And I'm going to share two things with you. The first thing that I want to talk about, again, I've been married for 33 years, so I've heard a lot. I won't say I've seen a lot, but I've heard a lot, different experiences. This person knows this person. And also, I have a lot of friends. Most of my friends are men. So I've learned from them as well. I had this friend that had a friend, and they came from Nigeria to the US. The other friend that this happened to is also a pharmacist, or well, I guess he's a medical doctor now. He went to medical school. I don't know what his wife did, and I would assume that when they were in Nigeria, they had maids, they had drivers, they had everything. But when you're in America or in the Western world, you're your own driver, you're your own cook, you're your own cleaner. You don't have the extra help. So definitely, that's one area where couples need to talk about and try to figure out, how do we navigate this, especially when you first move. Everything is going to be different. Everything is going to be new environment, new system. So that's one of the things that you need to sit down and talk about and say, how do we navigate this? How do we go about this? How can we succeed? How will we succeed? Anywho, so he called my friend and said that his wife was rude to him. So my friend was like, oh, in what way was she rude to you? Disrespectful was the word. I apologize. Was disrespectful. And he was like, in what way was she disrespectful to you? He was like, oh, when she cooks and she just puts my food on the table. So he was like, what do you mean she just puts your food on the table? He assumes, he expects that the way she did it in Africa, like with all fanfare, she was going to do that. But this is somebody that probably went to work for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours outside of the house. You're even lucky, blessed that she's still able to cook and put your food on the table. So my friend said he told him, that's not disrespectful. This is America. And that that in his house he actually cooks. You're lucky that your wife cooked for you anyway. That was one of the things he complained about. Soon enough, he left the wife. He went to the Caribbean to go to medical school. He literally left the wife. They were separated. Not that he left home, no. He left the marriage. They were not divorced, they were separated. So he went to the Caribbean. This is a kind of, it's not so long, but I want you to learn something from this story. This clip today is going to be a little bit longer than my usual clips. This has been kind of on my mind that I want to discuss. So he went to school in the Caribbean and he met another African lady that, no, I think she was from the Bahamas. I apologize, but she lived in London, but they were both in med school, so they lived together. So he called my friend again. They had been together. He had proposed to her. So he called my friend again and said, he like say, Nigerian women, they are really good though. This lady that he started dating and he proposed to, that she doesn't cut him any slack at all. These are the things that he did. So he had a change of heart. He went back to his wife. Unfortunately, the marriage ended up in divorce, unfortunately. But this was what happened in that relationship. And I know a lot of men will be, okay, my wife does not submit to me. I hear that a lot. And in my mind, I'm like, what is your definition of submission? Even the Bible says that if you're the being the as the master that washes the servant's feet, not vice versa in the Bible, as Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. So when you say that your wife doesn't submit to you, what have you done for your wife that you're expecting that submission? A lot of men get it wrong. Again, I say I'm not a man, but I've heard a lot. I'll give you another example in terms of submission. Now, this is another male friend of mine. They immigrated from Nigeria, and his family lived in Canada. He worked in the US, and he would go home, and he took good care of his wife. So he said one day he went home, and his wife cooked for him. She laid the table, and then she got on her knees, and he was like, who are you kneeling down to? And she was like, you, my husband. He was like, no, 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 please. Where is that from, And she was like, truthfully, you're a good man. They had been married a few years, and he said he was taken aback because she never knelt down to him. And she said, you know what? The people, my pastor in church and other people that I kneel down to in church, they don't do what you do for me. You go over and beyond. You live in the US, you order groceries from the US, do everything from the US. And she was like, I do appreciate that a lot. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is, in my opinion, you're saying somebody should submit to you. It's not demanded. It's you see what that man is doing for you. You submit to them willingly. I believe that willfully submitting to your spouse. The Bible does say submission, but the first thing is for the man to love the wife. But I think a lot of men forget that first aspect of the Bible that says to love. And again, I did have the example of Jesus told us that if you're the master, you have to wash your servant's feet. In what way are you helping your wife? In what way are you taking care of your wife? The Bible says we should love one another as He's loved us. The Bible said the husband should love the wife as He loved the church. He loved the church and He gave His only begotten Son to die on the cross for us. Have you done that for your wife? The wife that you want to submit to you? I don't have any problems with women submitting to men. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that man that is demanding that submission, what have you done for the woman? Life is give and take. Let's remember that, please. And let's take care of one another. It doesn't necessarily mean that the man has to take care of the woman all the time. And it's not about money. A lot of women get it wrong. Oh, the husband has to buy me this. What have you done for your husband? It's a two-way street. It's not that the man has to take care of you and you're living the soft life. And what are you doing for the man in return? You should buy things for him too. You should take care of him too. If he washes your feet, you should wash his feet too. It takes us working together and doing these things for us to live in harmony. So then I'll go back to the original thing that we discussed about moving from Africa to the America. When you move, again, talk about these things. Or if the husband was here first and you bring your wife, I hear a lot of people, oh, I'm going to go to the village and bring my woman because I don't want somebody that's exposed. If I marry somebody in the US or in the Western world, they're already exposed. That same person that you bring into the village, there's no way that we don't become exposed. It takes time. After a few minutes, I mean, you watch TV, you see what's going on around you. The best thing is, again, have a sit down. These are my expectations. You have those expectations, you come together, you combine your expectations, and you forge ahead. One thing that we all, both genders, don't understand, when you go this way and your spouse goes this way, how are we going to come this way and forge ahead? The Bible says one will put 1,000 to flight, two will put 10,000 to flight. Let's please remember this. Thank you for coming along today. If you like what you've heard, please like, share, and subscribe. You can share it on your other social media platforms too. Have a good day and God bless you. Bye.